Hi guys, Mitchell here, Mitchell in Minnesota. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to come on today really quickly to check in. Today is the 29th of December, 11:51 p.m. Central Time. And I want to talk just really quick, kind of update you where I am weight-wise, and then I have an idea and I want to see what you guys think about it. So, as you know, some serious weight gain I went at my lowest March 2020, right when the pandemic started, 199. And that was awesome. I was so excited. And now at my highest, 281 in September of 2022, so September, I lost control. This summer, as many of you know, I'm a teacher, and I have, in the summer, this is the first summer that I actually got to teach new teachers about teaching. These are teachers that are going to go into the classroom this year. They're in there now. And so they got to teach summer school classes, and then we would do a 6-hour course after that. So it was a really intense summer, very hot, very warm, and I kept eating. I could not stop myself. I can't be the only one, obviously, but like the consistent hunger and the want and the yearning and it turns into mindless eating. Absolutely it does. It absolutely turns into mindless eating because that's part of it. And head hunger and real hunger mixed together into this cluster of complete nonsense, right? So there's that piece of it. And what really sucked was like, I don't like it was walking upstairs sucked. And I'm like, ugh, I hate this feeling. And I knew I was gaining weight mindlessly as soon as I felt the creaking in, like, you know, when you start to feel your bones hurt or your body, because you're expanding, right? And I swear it's been a yo-yo my whole life, but started Ozempic while I'm waiting for my Wegovy or Wegovy. And somebody had said, there was a comment left that said, call the small pharmacies around. I still haven't done that, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. I need to remind myself. So I started the omeprazole 0.25 shot in mid-November, and I am down 16 pounds, which is not only fantastic, it's fantastic times two. I was continuing to gain. I mean, not just eating. There was no plateauing, just continuing to gain and gain and gain. And this is allowing me to, it's not even about, I hate to say it like this because you have to change your lifestyle, but you can make small changes because it retracts hunger. And this is the first time in my life that I have had a decrease in appetite. I've forgotten to eat, which that has not been it's not been a problem for me before. So it is kind of a miracle thing in that. Doesn't mean you can absolutely gain weight on it, just like you do with everything else that we talk about. But I think that's a really unique experience. And what ticks me off is that it's such an expensive thing for people, and so it becomes very cost prohibitive, and that puts up a barrier for folks across the board. My insurance didn't cover the generic, but it covers the brand name, although we're still waiting for the Wegovy. Anywho, and I've heard a lot from you guys too, in your successes with it, and it's a really good feeling to know that, like, yes, there is something else out there, and it's being treated. You know, my primary, I love my primary because he understands. He is not a specific obesity doctor or, you know, specialist on obesity, but what he is it's really neat. As a gay person, you know, when we moved here in 2017 to Minnesota, to be able to have a doctor that understands the health needs, or, you know, pieces of that pie that we need. And what my first primary, he was fabulous, but there were certain things that I wanted to talk about that he's like has no idea. My doctor, my primary now, he's fabulous. He himself is a gay man he has his husband, and, you know, we're able to talk about all sorts of things, right? Anything under the sun, you know, with the asterisk that he also understands where it's coming from that LGBTQIA plus perspective. And I'm not discounting at all the incredible work that my previous physician has done, because he was incredible. It's nearly impossible to chameleon yourself to every single type of person, regardless of how good we are at our jobs. There are times when we unfortunately can't reach every peak or valley or whatever we want to do. So I'm very, very proud uh, of making that switch, and he's wonderful. And he made a point to say, obesity is a disease. It is not something that we treat as we don't. There's no, something to the effect of, there's no reason that anybody should ever shame people for being heavy. The reality is, being heavy is one of the last few okays to be unkind to out loud, and I don't like that. I don't think we should be unkind to anybody, right? But first of all, how many times if you've been heavy before, like, you don't have to say I'm heavy. I know. And I purposely don't like using the word fat, because it entails a really poor perception of people who are heavy. There is a perception that people, this is a little bit off the track, I apologize, but I'm very passionate about the fact that, like, people who are morbidly obese or heavy or whatever, they are CEOs, they are intelligent folks, heavy people expand the spectrum too. That being said, there's a lot of discrimination against folks who are heavy, and that's not okay. Like, it's not okay. So anyway, working forward on this path seems very, very, very positive. So there's that piece. The second piece I want to talk about is, I'm a podcast lover. I listen to podcasts all the time. I actually have a scary story podcast that I read some scary stories. But I was wondering if I'm curious, would you listen to a podcast that I would put on about weight loss, lifestyle, stuff like that, having to do with continuing to make good, positive gains forward. And even I would love to have you guys, because you can do it from wherever we're at, we could have conversations on the podcast and really dig into that stuff. I want to know so much more about you guys, because I use that as fodder and look at that and say, I want to do that. I want to pick that and do that and be about that. I have, just like you guys, I think there's a lot to say, and I listen to podcasts every day, audiobooks, because I can do it while I'm going about my day, so it's a lot more helpful that way. So I'm curious if you guys would listen to podcasts. Yeah, other than that, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. We played very low key. It was wonderful. We're in the Midwest, so I'm sure those of you all the way down, I'm sure little Kansas Kitty as well. Daniel, VSG, negative, when the wind chill was like negative 40 something on the 23rd, I think. I was like, we can't even leave the house. I don't want to die. So Travis works from home, my husband works from home, and I'm on winter breaks. So we just kind of hunkered down. It was great. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing wonderful. What are your plans for the first? And let me know what you think about that podcast idea. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night or wherever you are during your day. If nobody told you that they love you today, remember I do, and I always will. Bye, guys.